And I'll tell you this, I got hoodwinked by technology yesterday. Now, a lot of times it's Chris Demm that does this, and I have to tell you, I had private thoughts about Chris Demm, and it wasn't right. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. Yesterday, Chris Demm and I we had to go to a spot called Lexington Utilities where they were having a Customer Appreciation Day. Big crowd.
And a job fair.
Very nice. Very, very nice. A lot of people came out. Beautiful weather.
It was absolutely perfect. Huge attendance.
Yes. Free hot dogs. Just a fair. And some even school kids were out of school coming to learn about electrical work and all the stuff that the city does. And so it was at a spot in Lexington, North Carolina, where I had not been. I've been to Lexington many times, but not this particular part. So, of course, we get the address. I just stick it into the GPS, into my machine. And I'm cruising along, this and that, just
waving to the girls.
You know how it is. And there, in fact, there's a story today of a guy who followed his GPS so blindly that he turned right into the Atlantic Ocean. And there's stories you hear all the time of people just driving off bridges or into lakes.
Driving into walls.
Because of their GPS. They follow it so blindly. That's what they do. So I get over. I'm close to my area now where I'm supposed to be, and I'm 10 minutes
You're in
early.
the city limits.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to be 7 or 8 minutes early, which is exactly how I timed it. I had already sat in the car and had a car lunch. And yes, I added a hot dog later, but because of the stress of this.
Interesting.
Anyway, the point is, I was 7 or 8 minutes early, and it takes me through these little back roads and into a neighborhood, and now I'm like a minute away, and I was looking around, and there's nothing but houses.
You don't see the van, you don't see tents.
No.
You're in the neighborhood.
That's worrisome.
I was a little worried. I was a little worried. And so it says, arrived. And I'm in a guy's driveway. I was in a guy's driveway looking at his house, and he was looking out his window at me.
Lexington Utilities?
No.
Get off my property.
It was not. I was not in an area where I should have been. I was in somebody's yard, which, of course, was not the right thing. But I blindly followed the technology, as I have now. I'll do it from time to time. So there I was, and then I was like, oh, my goodness, panic set in because I had put in the correct address, and I wasn't anywhere near it. And here was the thought that was disparaging to Chris Demm. I thought, well, if I'm not there.
You were waiting for him to pull in right behind you.
I was like, he's driving.
He's on his way to Lexington, Kentucky.
Boy, he's driving around in circles. He has no idea. I said, that poor old feeble mind. There's no way he can find it. So, again, it's a place called Lexington Utilities. So I then, instead of using the address, I thought, well, let me use my brain here. So I type in Lexington Utilities without an address. And it gives me a different place, and it says you're 2.5 miles away, 3 minutes away, 5 minutes away. So I thought, I'm just going to make it. Now I'm going to just barely be on time. So I go, this takes me to the downtown area, and I park downtown in the hustling, bustling streets of Lexington, North Carolina. And I park downtown, and I get out.
Here.
And then it says like 200-foot walk, and I walk, and I'm looking. And
don't see tents?
Nothing.
Don't see the radio station van?
Nothing. And now I'm worried because it's, I'm supposed to be there at 11:30. It's 11:29.
Yeah.
And a lady behind me goes, where's the Lexington Utilities? And I said, sweetheart, I'm looking for the exact same thing.
Me too.
This older, feeble lady is walking around. And she goes,
maybe we'll find it together.
I said, let's find it.
Come with me, and if you want to live.
What year is it? I've been looking for this place since 1998.
They shut off my power during the Gulf War.
Right.
What?
So, yeah, and I'm looking all around for, and she is too, and we're both just like, I don't know, I can't find it, and this and that. And then other people would ride by, and they'd say, where's Lexington Utility? I said, we don't know. And she said, let's ask this man. And she asked, sadly, a homeless man on the streets, and he's like, oh, yeah, it's down here. Do you have $1?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so I got to the place where they were directing me, downtown, and it was like City Hall, like the utilities place where you pay your bill. And on the window going in, it said, don't forget our Customer Appreciation Day. And it gave the hours. It's like, here's the address. And I was like, oh, that's not where I am, And now I'm 7 or 8 minutes late. And I thought again to myself, God knows where Chris Demm is.
He is in Kentucky.
I said he's
getting his name on a Louisville Slugger.
There's no chance. If someone as with it and current as I am can't find this place, this poor man set for the retirement home at any moment. There's no way he can be there. So I just text him, I'm lost, and I know you are too.
It was just the 2 words.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Like in your life or directionally?
I'm lost.
I don't think he even noticed I wasn't there. I'm 7 or 8 minutes late.
Nah, nobody did.
Nobody even cared. And so he wrote me back and said, "Oh, I'm here. We're having a good time.
Hot dogs smell great.
Hot dogs and everybody's
Crowd is
here."
bustling.
So he goes, it's off Talbot Street. And I hadn't even, in all my travels, I hadn't even seen Talbot Street. None of it. So I asked a nice Hispanic man, Talbot. He didn't speak English at all. So now I'm walking around, and I had to leave the nice old lady. I said, "Ma'am, I've got to go. I can't even stay.
I'm supposed to be handing out hot dogs.
If I'm not, and I've got to spin the wheel. If I'm not going to spin the wheel,
That's true.
Chris Demm's arms are too feeble. He can't spin the wheel. And so now our sales associate, she called me in a panic. Where are you? You know, she's worried. And I said, I'm on I don't know. She goes, I will meet you somewhere. I will meet you. So she has to come
with me if you want to live.
She leads me in. And then when I get there, they're like, where were you, man? I'm 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
It's just so awful.
Yeah.
I felt so terrible.
I mean, embarrassingly late.
Oh, it was horrible. I mean, you couldn't even cover it like 2 minutes late. It's 15 minutes late. And I got there, and there was the little old lady I'd been walking around downtown. I was like, I see you made it. I see you got there.
I heard they had hot dogs.
And then there's a new guy working for us named Rocky, who I really liked. I'd not met him. You met him?
Yeah, I've met him. Really nice guy.
Great guy. And
He's got a great attitude for the business, for a young person.
So I got there late, and he's young, in his 20s, I guess, early 20s. And he's handing out stickers and all this. And when people spin the wheel, it's my job to hand out the sticker. And so I got there late.
Someone else was doing it.
And he was doing it. And I just kind of stood to the side. And Chris Demm, I saw him lean over to him and said, Rocky, Chris Kelly hands out the stickers.
You work with him. It's his deal.
Rocky, I like you. Step away from the stickers.
He positions himself near the wheel. They spin. He hands them a sticker.
Hands out a sticker.
He gets their name. He forgets their name.
That's right. Next. If they win, I hand them either an extra small or a 3XL T-shirt. Those are the sizes we have.
That's the job.
Pretty much.
You tell them, step to the side. We'll get you an oversized shirt. Or a too small of a shirt. One of the two.
Which would you like? You want oversized? Do you want too small? And so Rocky said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overstep my bounds. And he was such a great guy. And here's another thought I had that, again, so wrong of me. Yesterday in garbage time, or as Dave now refers to it, trash hour. Incidentally, somebody mistook Rocky, who's young, 22, 23.
I don't know how old Rocky is.
I don't either, but
he's
young. And somebody said, that must be Dave Aiken. And Chris Demm said, oh, my God, you could not be more mistaken.
No, on so many levels.
No. This guy, Rocky, who's now our promotional assistant, he's full of life and excitement for this business.
Exactly.
He's been here a month. He loves it. Dave had that squashed out of him 25 years ago. I mean, Dave couldn't be different. But this guy, Rocky, late in the show yesterday, during trash hour, garbage time, we were talking about New York City. They're trying now to pass legislation to make it discrimination if you don't hire somebody who has a tattoo. They're putting tattoos with like sexual orientation, race, that kind of thing. And we're going to ask our attorney today, can you do that? Like if you wanted to hire somebody as a waiter at a 5-star restaurant.
And with a snake on his face.
With a snake on his face.
And you refuse to hire him because he has a snake on his face. Under the proposed law, he could then have action against you.
You're the jerk. You can't say to him, dude, you got a snake on your face. You cannot work.
I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah,
that's right.
Like when you sit down at Le Bernardin, do you want a guy with a snake on his face bringing you over your consommé?
Exactly right. And I had said yesterday, I'm not a tattoo person. I don't get into tattoos. I've said that before. I just don't love tattoos. And if I saw a waiter at Le Bernardin with a snake on his face, I would think less of him. And I hate that about myself. But if I saw, and he could be the best guy in the world, but if he's, one time I went to a restaurant where a guy had flames, fire.
Oh, I remember Fire Guy.
All up his neck. Yeah. And then so much stuff in his face.
The metal stuff.
Oh, the metal stuff in his face and the big old ears.
Big gauge.
Huge
ears.
And I looked up from the menu and got the heebie-jeebies. Now, I couldn't eat my red beans and rice. You were there. You were there or no? You heard about it.
I think I've heard about it so many times, I feel like I was there.
The others that were there, I mean, I had trouble eating. I said to all these people, I can't even eat with this guy. I mean, he had all that. And this was before. Now it's more commonplace. But he had those big old ears. It's like the first time I'd seen those big gauge ear things. And the flame shooting out of his neck and everything.
He's probably, filing his teeth down for Halloween right about now.
Yes.
In the fangs.
Yes. Well, yesterday when Rocky, our new employee, bent over, I saw his shirt came up a little, and I thought he had a back tattoo. And I thought, here I have judged him as a great guy. And he is a great guy.
Welcomed him in to the bosom.
Open arm. I said, you're wonderful. It's so great to have. Then I see a tattoo, and I think, here. It's like that old song, Signs, where it was long hair. You know the old song, Signs?
I do know it well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, yeah.
Long-haired freaky people need not apply.
That's right. But, here's a freaky guy that I absolutely love, and I just think he's great.
Be careful how you say that.
Right.
Hey, look at this freaky guy. I love him. What?
If he had a snake on his face, I'd still welcome him in. I feel that way about him. So I had to look inwardly yesterday twice. One, judging Chris Demm for his feebleness and his oldness, and yet he was there and I wasn't.
Yep.
And two, judging Rocky as this great guy, and then, he's tattooed, and I have to sit here and say, of course, he's the same
Out of curiosity, how did Chris Demm get there, but you did not? Did you have a separate GPS? Did you have different addresses or using different GPS?
I was unsure about the location because, like Chris Kelly said, if you plug that in, you will get multiple addresses. So I turned to the department head who's in charge of live events, and I said, where am I going?
Godly. I wish I'd thought about that.
And he said, here's the address. So I just plugged that in. Took me right there. I was 15 minutes early.
So that's a half hour. He was there before I even got there. And when I showed up, everybody turned and went, boo.
Oh, it's him.
Yes. Nobody wanted
Look at him. Can't even get here on time.
What a jerk. He can't even get here on time. I know. It was terrible. It was such a low moment for me. And then twice. But the bright spot was Rocky. I said, Rocky, you are an absolute, what a gem. We've hired a gem here, and I think it was just great.